Welcome back to AM Northwest. Are you asking yourself, is this the year I'm going to start the second half of my life? Here to help you figure this out, if this is the year to retire, we welcome back from Swanson Financial planning and consulting expert, David Swanson. Good to see you. So a lot of people, I think at the start of the year, often do think, could this be the year I retire?
That's what a lot of people are hoping.
Yeah, so what do you say that they should do, first of all?
Well, the very first thing is make a commitment that this is what you want to do. And to make a commitment, the first thing is to write it down. Okay? So say, this is the year that I'm going to do. What do I want to do? I do want to retire. This is it. I am going to tell my friends. I am going to tell my family.
Oh, you're setting yourself up then if you tell your friends.
This is the time.
Yeah.
So I got to own this now. So that's the first thing. Make
Could you also do it if you want to say, I'm going to retire in 5 years and this is what I need to do? That might be, for some people, safer.
Even better that you have
like a 5-year plan.
Exactly. So I'm going to do 20% this year and 20% next year. But no goal can ever be accomplished unless it's written down, because it's just a dream then, and dreams are in the future. So
right.
If you want to get it done, get it figured out.
And do you write down your bucket list of things you want to do when you retire, how you want to live when you retire?
That's really the second thing. Once you've decided, so if 2017 is the year I've decided, my wife has told me I'm retiring, whatever it is, whatever important for you, then what you do is you start planning your activities. And the two parts of your activities that you need to really figure out is what am I going to do? And what do I have, resource-wise, to get me to that point? So that's the second part of the written plan. So what am I going to do to occupy my time that I'm currently spending 40 hours a weekend right now? Let's figure it out. Do I like to travel? Do I like to walk my dog, which is one of my favorite things? Do you like to read books? Do you like to attend plays? What are the things that you guys like to do? Then the second thing is that now you got to pay for all of that.
Right.
So we need to make an inventory or make an inventory and write down all of the opportunities that you have for your retirement savings, your Social Security, your 401k, 403b, 401a, whatever monies that you have saved. And then the real trick here is, how do you convert everything that you worked your whole life for into an income stream that you never outlive? And that's the tricky part. And what happens with most people is that they try to take too much risk with what they have when they go into retirement. So they don't realize that parts of what they need for the rest of their life can go away just because we had it exposed to too much risk, too much in the stock market,
right.
or too many investments that if they go away, now I don't have the fuel to pay income for the rest of my life.
So the idea is, the older you get, don't take as much risk when it comes to the stock market, right?
Absolutely. And in general, of your life, don't take as much risk. Try to be more conservative. We want to have a good, solid, long life, and you want to be stress-free in retirement.
Right.
Nobody wants to retire and then have to go back to work.
But you definitely need to know what resources you have available to you. And there may be some you don't know about.
Or how to use them properly.
Okay.
And Social Security is a great plan, because there's many, many different strategies of claiming Social Security, and if you take the wrong strategy, you may have less income or less fuel to enjoy your retirement
In the
life.
past, you've talked about people who divorce don't realize that sometimes they may have access to their ex's Social Security.
A great example of not knowing what you have available to you. So you need to find a competent and experienced person that you trust, that you can sit down with and say, okay, here's what my plan is. I have decided I'm going to retire. These are what I have available. These are the activities I want to do. Can I afford to do these things? And with a guided counselor that's experienced, they can help you and say, look, based on the assets that you have, this is the income that you can expect going forward for each month for the rest of your life. And now you have a plan for 30 or 40 years of your life to say, here I go. I don't have to worry about what's going to happen in retirement. I'm taken care of.
Okay, now we have a number of viewer questions that I want to get to. We're going to take a break and come back, and I'm going to ask you some of those questions.
Great.
All right?
Okay.
So we'll be right back with David. Don't go away. Welcome back to AM Northwest. We're back with David Swanson of Swanson Financial, answering some of your retirement questions. First one is, I want to retire this year. What should I do first?
First thing, ask permission from your spouse.
And if you're a husband, that'd be the first thing you should do.
I learned that well. Happy wife, happy life. Absolutely.
Yes.
So first thing is,
talk with your spouse.
Talk with your spouse. Figure out, is this going to make sense for you? Is it going to make your family happy? Is this what you want to do? And a lot of stress-related issues in families have to do around money. And sometimes if you just talk with your partner, you can actually find out that there really isn't such a big problem. You just need to get on the same page.
Oh, that's a good point. And maybe full retirement isn't the case. Maybe you want to go to a part-time job, right?
Absolutely.
Because some people, when they retire and all of a sudden are doing nothing, it scares them.
Well, the Monday after you retire is a pretty scary thing. What am I going to do? And a lot of people put off retirement, interestingly enough, because they don't know what they're going to do on Monday.
Right.
They just simply, my whole life is defined by me working 30 years in this one job,
right.
And I'm scared because I don't know what I'm going to really do. So you've got to talk that out and work that out with your partner and your family and figure out what you do. But I'll tell you, it's a whole lot better not working than working, from what people tell me who are retired saying.
Sounds good to me. Yeah. All right, my wife and I are both planning to retire this year. Most of our money is in the stock market. Our advisor tells us not to worry. Should we be worried?
Well, I think so. Mm-hmm. I think so. And anything, the old saying of too many eggs in one basket and all of that, and I'm not necessarily a big believer in that particular saying, but if you are at a position where you could lose a substantial portion of your assets and that could affect the ability for you to be successful and be staying retired and be happy in retirement, then you need to look at that. So having risk, no problem, just less risk. You don't need your money to grow so much when you retire. You need it more to sustain a cash flow for the rest of your life. So there's a change that needs to happen. That's why our clients and in our workshops and what we counsel people on is that as you move into retirement, it's a change in your life. You're not building assets anymore. You're now trying to use those assets that you've accumulated your whole life to make sure that they last you for the rest of your life.
Shouldn't you also have all your debts paid off before you plan to retire?
You know, that is absolutely key. And one of the people look for a trigger point. When should I retire? What is it? Okay, I've been there this many years, whatever. No, a good trigger point in our counseling practice is debt-free. Debt-free, even your home, even your primary residence. If you can do that, great. If you can't, I understand, but we don't want to have credit card debt, we don't want to have automobile debt, we want to have nothing. And so if you're going to work another year or two, work to focus on paying off your debt. Or when you retire, we shift assets from monies that you have in savings to pay that debt off, because the rent that you pay on those assets is just robbing your future income. And all it is, mortgage interest, rent to the bank, credit card interest, it's just stealing your future. So we want to eliminate that. And if you bought things that you can't afford, you need to get rid of them,
right.
Or you shouldn't accumulate them in the first place. Shouldn't have bought them in the first place.
Absolutely. Another question is, we have been putting off our retirement date for 2 years. We just can't figure out if we can have enough money to make it. Can you meet with them directly? So you meet with people directly,
We
right?
do, and people call from the show, they call our office directly, and we meet with them. We also offer workshops to get an idea of what we're like, and they can get our information that we give on a broad base on good financial planning tips and how to make sure you get the right Social Security contributions. But people can call us directly. We'll sit down with them and counsel them, and if we can help them, we will. But we treat everybody exactly the same with respect, and we will give you an answer to what your situation is to the best of our ability.
I think that might be the answer to the next question, but I'll ask it anyway. We attended one of your financial workshops last year, and we think we're ready to retire. It is all a little fuzzy for us. What should we do next?
We get this call a lot. People say, because we see hundreds and hundreds of people every quarter. And what happens is that they come to the workshop, but they're not quite ready yet because they wanted to get the information, which is
right.
fantastic. So don't really want to go to another workshop because they already went to one, but they're ready to go. So people just give us a call. Call us directly, and we will call us directly, and we'll be able to help you without any problem at all. And we get that every week or so. We get somebody to call and say, we're ready to go now.
What's the biggest question you get after someone makes the decision to retire, and they're kind of shocked by the whole idea that they're living in retirement now?
The most difficult part for people is that they can actually now realize the dreams that they've had for their whole life. And it's really hard to take something that is cloudy and make it reality. And that it is really okay for me to go on a hike in the winter.
Right.
And it's okay. I don't have to go to work today, and I can enjoy myself, and I can get up and I can read a book until 10 in the morning when I would normally have to get ready and go to work. That's the hardest thing, is resetting your life for the second half and the best half of your life. And if there's anything that I enjoy more about the best part of my job is to get people to realize that, to really enjoy what they have. And people are scared that they don't have enough money to do this, and really all in front of them, they have all the opportunity. They just don't know how to look at it properly.
Okay, if you'd like to find out more about Swanson Financial, the number is 503-603-9900. We'll put the information on KATU.com. David, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and Butch, thank you very much.